What if I told you, the most powerful, I love you, is never actually spoken? What if love isn't in the words we repeat, but in the unexpected ways we choose to express it, the quiet gestures, the silent sacrifices, the moments no one else sees? There was a time when I believed love was simple. You meet someone, you look into their eyes, and you say those three magical words, I love you. And somehow, I thought that was enough. But then, life introduced me to a different kind of love, a quieter one, a deeper one. I remember her, not because she said, I love you, every day, but because she showed it in ways I never expected. One evening, after a long, exhausting day, I found a small note in my bag. It didn't say, I love you. It simply said, don't forget to smile today. The world needs it. And somehow, that meant more than any grand declaration ever could. That's when I realized, love isn't always spoken. Sometimes, it's hidden in the smallest things. It's in the way someone remembers how you take your coffee, without asking. It's in the way they sit beside you when you're silent, not forcing words, just being there. It's in the way they notice when your voice changes, even when you say, I'm fine. One day, I asked her, why don't you say, I love you, more often? She smiled, and said, because I'd rather make you feel it than make you hear it. And that changed everything. Love, I learned, can be written in 1,000 creative ways. It can be a song sent at midnight with no explanation. It can be cooking someone's favorite meal after a hard day. It can be showing up, even when it's inconvenient. I once saw her wake up early, just to watch the sunrise with me, knowing I loved mornings, even though she hated them. She didn't say anything. She just sat there, half asleep, beside me. And in that moment, I understood. That was her way of saying, I love you. Love can also be playful. It can hide in laughter, in inside jokes no one else understands. It can be in the way someone teases you just to see you smile. It can be in a random message that says, guess what? I was thinking about you. And sometimes, love is in the silence. There were days when words failed us both. Days filled with confusion, stress, and distance. But even then, she would reach for my hand. No explanations, no speeches, just a simple touch. And somehow, that said everything. Because the truth is, words can be repeated. Anyone can say, I love you. But not everyone can prove it in a way that feels real. Creative love is not about grand gestures or expensive gifts. It's about knowing someone so deeply that you express love in a way only they can understand. It's leaving a light on because you know they're afraid of the dark. It's remembering the little things they forgot to mention. It's choosing them, again and again, even when it's hard. And maybe that's the most beautiful thing about love, it evolves. It finds new ways to speak, new ways to show up, new ways to say the same three words without ever repeating them. So if you ever wonder how to say, I love you, don't just say it. Show it in the way you listen. Show it in the way you stay. Show it in the way you notice what others ignore. Because the most unforgettable love stories are not written in words. They are felt in moments. And sometimes, the most creative way to say, I love you, is to never say it at all. Love is often mistaken for something that must be spoken, something that needs to be confirmed again and again through words. But the truth is, love finds its deepest meaning not in what we say, but in what we do, especially in the quiet, unnoticed moments where no audience exists. Words can be beautiful, they can be poetic, they can even feel magical in the moment, but they are easy to repeat. Actions, however, require intention, effort, and sincerity. That is where love becomes real. Think about the moments that stay with you the longest. It's rarely the memory of someone simply saying, I love you. Instead, it's the way they showed up when you needed them the most. It's the late-night conversations when you felt lost and they chose to stay awake just to listen. It's the small sacrifices they made without ever announcing them. Those are the moments that carve themselves into your heart. Love in action is subtle, yet powerful. It's in the way someone notices the things you never say out loud. The way they remember your fears, your habits, your dreams, and respond to them without needing to be reminded. It's bringing you comfort when you didn't even realize you needed it. It's choosing patience when things get difficult, choosing understanding when misunderstandings arise. There's something deeply intimate about actions because they reveal truth. Anyone can say the right words at the right time, but consistent actions expose the depth of someone's feelings. When someone continues to choose you through effort, through time, through energy, that speaks louder than any sentence ever could. Love is also found in presence. Being there, fully and genuinely, without distraction or hesitation. Sitting beside someone in silence, offering nothing but your presence, can sometimes mean more than 1,000 carefully chosen words. It's in these quiet exchanges that love feels the most honest. And sometimes, love expresses itself through the smallest gestures, the kind that could easily be overlooked. A reassuring glance, a gentle touch, a thoughtful act done without expectation. These are the moments where love exists in its purest form, unspoken yet deeply understood. Because when love is real, it doesn't need constant verbal confirmation, it naturally reveals itself through everything you do, through every choice you make, through every moment you decide to care a little more than necessary. Small gestures often seem insignificant in the grand picture of love, yet they carry a weight that grand displays rarely achieve. It's easy to assume that love must be proven through big, dramatic moments, expensive gifts, elaborate surprises, or perfectly planned confessions. But in reality, it is the quiet, creative details that linger the longest in someone's heart. These are the moments that feel personal, intentional, and deeply human. Imagine receiving a handwritten note hidden in a place you least expect, inside a book, under a pillow, or tucked into a bag before a long day. It may only contain a few simple words, but the effort behind it transforms it into something unforgettable. It says, "I was thinking about you even when you weren't here." That thought alone can stay with someone far longer than any spoken phrase. Creativity in love is not about impressing someone, it's about understanding them. It's knowing what makes them smile and turning that knowledge into action. It could be as simple as sending them a song that reminds you of them, not with an explanation, but with the hope that they feel what you felt when you heard it. It could be recreating a small memory you once shared, just to relive that feeling together again. These small gestures create emotional anchors. They attach feelings to moments, turning ordinary days into memories worth holding onto. A cup of coffee made just the way they like it, without them asking. A random message in the middle of a busy day that says, "I know you're working hard." Standing beside them during a difficult moment without trying to fix anything, just being there. These are the details that build a love story over time. What makes these gestures powerful is their consistency. Anyone can plan a big moment once, but it takes genuine care to repeatedly show love in small, thoughtful ways. Over time, these moments accumulate, forming a foundation of trust and emotional connection. They create a sense of being seen, understood, and valued without needing constant reassurance. There is also a quiet beauty in how unexpected these gestures can be. Love feels most alive when it surprises us in the simplest forms, when it appears without warning in the middle of an ordinary day. It's in these spontaneous expressions that love feels genuine, unforced, and real. And in the end, it is not the grand events that define a relationship, but the collection of these small, creative moments that slowly, gently shape a bond that feels unbreakable. Understanding someone is perhaps the most intimate and meaningful way to love them. It goes beyond attraction, beyond shared moments, beyond even the words exchanged between two people. To truly understand someone is to see them for who they are beneath the surface, their unspoken fears, their quiet hopes, their hidden insecurities, and the little things that make them feel safe or fragile. In love, many people focus on being heard, on expressing their own feelings, their own needs, their own desires. But real connection begins when you shift that focus toward listening, not just to respond, but to truly absorb. It's in noticing the pauses in their speech, the slight change in their tone, the way their eyes look away when something is bothering them. These are the moments where understanding begins to form. There is a certain kind of love that doesn't need constant explanation because it already knows. It knows when to give space and when to come closer. It knows when silence is comforting and when silence feels heavy. This kind of awareness doesn't happen instantly, it is built over time through attention, patience, and genuine care. Understanding also means accepting the parts of someone that are not easy to love. Their flaws, their past, their habits that may not always make sense. Instead of trying to change them, you begin to see the reasons behind who they are. You start to recognize that their reactions, their fears, and even their defenses come from experiences that shaped them long before you arrived in their life. There is something powerful about being understood without having to explain yourself. It creates a sense of emotional safety, a space where you can be completely yourself without fear of judgment. When someone remembers the small details about you, not because they have to, but because they want to, it shows a level of care that words alone can never express. Sometimes, understanding is as simple as adjusting your actions to make the other person feel more comfortable. It's choosing your words carefully because you know what might hurt them. It's showing patience when they struggle, even if you don't fully relate to their situation. It's being present in a way that reassures them they are not alone. Love, in its purest form, is not just about being seen, it's about being known. And when you take the time to truly understand someone, you are not just loving them on the surface, you are connecting with the deepest parts of who they are, in a way that feels rare, genuine, and profoundly real. Love has a way of becoming predictable if it is always expressed in the same manner. The words may remain the same, the routines may feel comfortable, but over time, the emotional impact can begin to fade. This is why love grows stronger when it is expressed in unexpected ways, when it surprises, when it breaks patterns, when it arrives in moments where it is least anticipated. These unexpected expressions bring a sense of freshness and excitement that keeps the connection alive. There is something deeply powerful about being caught off guard by love. It's not about grand surprises or dramatic gestures, but about the timing and thought behind them. A simple message at an unusual moment, a kind action when it's least expected, or a sudden effort to make someone smile during an ordinary day can create a lasting emotional impression. These moments feel genuine because they are not planned to impress, they are driven by spontaneous care. Unexpected love shows attention. It shows that someone is not just following a routine, but actively thinking about you in new and creative ways. It could be revisiting a memory you once shared and bringing it back to life without warning. It could be showing interest in something they previously overlooked, just because it matters to you. These small shifts demonstrate growth, effort, and a willingness to keep discovering each other. There is also a certain magic in how unpredictability makes love feel alive. When you cannot anticipate how someone will express their feelings next, it creates curiosity and emotional engagement. It reminds you that love is not static, it evolves, it adapts, it finds new forms of expression as the relationship deepens. This keeps both people emotionally invested, preventing the connection from becoming mechanical or routine. Sometimes, unexpected love appears during difficult moments. When you are not at your best, when you feel distant or disconnected, and yet someone chooses that exact moment to show kindness, patience, or affection. These are the times when love feels the most real, because it is not dependent on perfect circumstances. It exists even in imperfection, even in struggle. Creativity in love is not about complexity, it is about intention. It is about finding new ways to say the same feeling without repeating the same expression. It is about understanding that love, like any meaningful connection, needs variation to continue growing, to remain exciting, and to feel deeply personal. And in those unexpected expressions, love reveals a depth that words alone could never fully capture. There is a kind of love that does not rely on words at all, a quiet connection that exists beneath conversation, beneath explanations, beneath the need to constantly express. It is the kind of love that speaks in silence, where nothing is said, yet everything is understood. In a world where people often measure love by how often it is spoken, this silent form of love feels almost invisible, but it is often the strongest. Silence in love is not emptiness, it is presence. It is sitting beside someone and feeling completely at ease without the pressure to fill the space with words. It is knowing that you don't have to perform, don't have to explain, don't have to prove anything in that moment. The comfort of simply being together becomes enough, and in that stillness, love finds its voice in a different way. There are moments when words fall short, when emotions are too deep, too complex, or too fragile to be expressed verbally. In those moments, love chooses silence, not because it has nothing to say, but because what it feels cannot be captured in language. A gentle touch, a lingering glance, or even the decision to stay close without speaking can carry more meaning than any sentence ever could. Silent love is also found in understanding. When two people truly know each other, they begin to read what is unspoken. A change in mood, a quiet sigh, a subtle shift in energy, these become signals that do not require translation. Love responds not to what is said, but to what is felt, creating a connection that goes beyond communication and into intuition. There is also strength in silent support. Being there for someone without overwhelming them with advice or questions, allowing them the space to process their thoughts while still feeling your presence. It is a form of respect, a recognition that sometimes the best way to love someone is simply to stand beside them without trying to fix everything. In silence, love becomes calm and steady. It is no longer about proving or convincing, but about existing in a shared understanding. It allows both people to feel secure, to feel accepted, and to feel connected without the constant need for reassurance. And within that quiet space, love continues to grow, speaking softly in ways that only the heart can truly hear.